Admiral Marcus Kane stood on the bridge of the Absolute Justice, gazing out at the planet below through the massive viewport. From this distance, Kepler 442b looked peaceful, a blue-green marble suspended in the void, home to 12 billion souls who had no idea that their fate hung in the balance of one man's decision. The Absolute Justice was humanity's crowning achievement in military engineering, a vessel so advanced that it represented the collective technological progress of 3 centuries. At 15 kilometers long, it was less a ship and more a mobile weapons platform capable of sterilizing entire star systems. Its quantum destructors could unravel matter at the subatomic level. Its temporal cannons could erase targets from the timeline itself. Its consciousness disruptors could break the very souls of enemy combatants across light years of space. It was, by every measure, the ultimate expression of human military might. And that, Kane had come to realize, was exactly the problem. "Admiral," came the voice of Commander Sarah Reeves, his tactical officer, and one of the few people aboard who still dared to question his orders. "The planetary defense grid has powered down. They're signaling unconditional surrender." Kane didn't respond immediately. His fingers traced the command console that could, with a simple gesture, deploy any one of a dozen planet-killing weapons. The power was intoxicating, absolute, and terrifying in its scope. "Sir?" Reeves pressed, her voice carrying a note of concern. "They've surrendered. The mission parameters called for capitulation, not annihilation." Kane turned slowly, his weathered face showing the strain of commanding ultimate power for the past 5 years. "Tell me, Commander, what is justice?" The question hung in the air like a challenge. Around the bridge, the crew continued their duties, but Kane could feel their attention shifting to the conversation. They had all wrestled with this question during their tour aboard the Absolute Justice. "Justice is fairness, sir." Proportional response. "The punishment fitting the crime." "And what crime have the people of Kepler 442b committed?" Kane asked, gesturing toward the planet below. Reeves consulted her tactical display. "They harbored rebels who attacked our supply convoys. 17 ships destroyed, 432 personnel killed." 432 deaths, Kane mused. "And their surrender prevents further conflict. So justice would be, what? Trials for the rebel leaders? Reparations? Perhaps a orbital blockade until compliance is assured?" "Yes, sir. That would be proportional justice." Kane laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Commander, I have at my fingertips the power to erase this planet from existence. Not just destroy it and make it so thoroughly that it never existed at all. I can kill 12 billion people with the same effort it takes to swat a fly." When one possesses such power, what meaning does proportional justice have? The uncomfortable silence that followed was broken by the soft chime of an incoming transmission. Lieutenant Chen at Communications looked up nervously. "Admiral, we're receiving a message from Earth. Admiralty Command wants a status report." Kane nodded absently. He knew what Earth wanted to hear, that another rebellious world had been brought to heel by the mere presence of the Absolute Justice. The ship's reputation preceded it across the galaxy. Most conflicts ended the moment it dropped out of hyperspace. Its arrival a not-so-subtle reminder of humanity's capacity for absolute destruction. "The problem, Commander," Kane continued, his voice taking on a philosophical tone that his crew had learned to fear, "is that when you possess ultimate power, you inevitably become the arbiter of ultimate justice. And ultimate justice is indistinguishable from ultimate tyranny." Dr. Elena Vasquez, the ship's xenosociologist and civilian advisor, stepped forward from her monitoring station. "Admiral, with respect, the rebels chose their path. They attacked our ships, killed our people. The responsibility for escalation lies with them." Kane's eyes fixed on her with laser intensity. "Does it, Doctor?" Or does it lie with us for creating a ship so powerful that its very existence transforms every political disagreement into a choice between submission and annihilation? He walked to the central command chair, but didn't sit. Instead, he activated the ship's quantum sensors, projecting a real-time view of the planet's surface onto the main display. Cities, farms, schools, hospitals, millions of lives going about their daily routines, unaware that their continued existence depended on the whims of a man struggling with godlike power. "I've been thinking about our mission parameters," Kane said. "We're told to maintain peace through strength, to project power across the galaxy, to ensure that humanity's enemies think twice before challenging us. But what we've actually become is something far more sinister." Commander Reeves shifted uncomfortably. "Sir, you're starting to sound like the peace protesters back on Earth." "Am I?" Kane smiled grimly. "Perhaps they understand something we've forgotten. You see, Commander, the absolute justice isn't a tool of justice at all. It's a tool of dominance. When diplomacy fails, when negotiations break down, when conflicts arise, we don't seek justice, we seek submission. We don't resolve disputes, we end them through the implicit threat of total annihilation." He gestured toward the planet below. "Those 12 billion people down there aren't surrendering because they've seen the error of their ways or because they've been convinced by the righteousness of our cause. They're surrendering because they know that the alternative is extinction." Dr. Vasquez crossed her arms. "And what's wrong with that? Peace through strength has been a cornerstone of human policy for centuries." "Because," Kane said, his voice dropping to barely above a whisper, "when your strength is absolute, peace becomes indistinguishable from terror. When the choice is submission or death, is that really justice? Or is it just a more efficient form of tyranny?" The bridge fell silent, except for the hum of the ship's massive reactors. Everyone present understood the implications of what their admiral was saying. The absolute justice represented not humanity's finest hour, but perhaps its most dangerous moment, the point at which power had grown so absolute that it corrupted not just those who wielded it, but the very concept of justice itself. Kane activated his personal communicator, opening a channel to Earth. "Admiralty Command, this is Admiral Kane aboard the Absolute Justice. Mission accomplished. Kepler 442b has surrendered unconditionally." He paused, looking around at his crew, seeing the mixture of relief and unease in their faces. "However, I'm recommending immediate decommission of this vessel upon our return to Earth. The absolute justice has become too powerful to serve justice. When the instrument of law becomes indistinguishable from the instrument of oppression, it's time to lay down the sword." The communication channel crackled with static before Admiral Harrison's voice came through, sharp with disbelief. "Admiral Kane, please clarify your last transmission. Did you just recommend decommissioning humanity's most advanced warship?" Kane looked out at the stars, thinking of all the worlds that lived in fear of ships like his. All the civilizations that submitted, not out of respect for human values, but out of terror of human power. "That's correct, Command. The absolute justice is too dangerous to exist. When you can destroy anything, you inevitably become what you were created to fight against." He cut the transmission and turned back to his crew. "Set course for Earth. It's time humanity learned that ultimate power and ultimate justice cannot coexist. One always corrupts the other." As the absolute justice turned away from Kepler 442b, leaving behind a world saved not by justice, but by fear, Kane wondered if humanity would be wise enough to understand his warning, or if they would simply build another ship, more powerful than the last, until the line between protector and oppressor disappeared entirely. In the depths of space, the ultimate human warship sailed toward home, carrying within its hull the uncomfortable truth that sometimes the greatest threat to justice comes not from those who oppose it, but from those who believe they embody it, absolutely.